the basics of entomology, like what is entomology, what is the insect, to which of the phylum insect belongs, and more importantly the morphological characters by which you can distinguish an insect from the other creatures that belong to the phylum Arthropoda. Because I told you that phylum Arthropoda as such is a very big phylum, and it has to be categorized into different classes, and that classes need to be organized into different orders or families to be more specific about a particular insect, right? So same is the case with the insect also. Insects as such are being classified into a class called Insecta that I told you in the last lecture, and that class Insecta is being subdivided into orders. There are 29 orders in which the insects are being distributed, right? So these different orders of insects have different characters of insect, right? How one order of insect differ from the other order of insect, that is the thing that we will discuss today. I will try to simplify it for you, and I will discuss the major orders of insect which you see in your daily routine life, like grasshoppers, the butterflies, the moths, the mayflies, right, the ant, and many other insects are there. So to start with, I have made certain diagrams here. You must have seen these insects in your daily life, like a dragonfly, or a honeybee, or a grasshopper, or this beautiful looking ladybug, and the moth or the butterfly, or say the most irritating one, especially for housewives or for people who get very afraid of this particular insect called cockroach, right? Or a termite, right? So and this one especially the Maltodia family insect, right? So these are different kinds of insect. Now how you will distinguish one from the other? If I say that all of them which are being made here, they all belong to the certain class called Insecta, right? But the difference is that they all belong to different orders, right? Different orders. They don't have similar kind of properties. Though they all belong to Insecta class, they have a head, thorax, and abdomen. Correct, right? They show metamorphosis. Correct, right? Some of them show metamorphosis. Some of them do not show metamorphosis. They all have exoskeleton. Correct, a tick for being an insect class family. Right? They have pair of wings. Right? Correct, for Insecta family. Right? They have 3 pairs of legs. Correct, for a Insecta family. But despite having all the common properties, they all are different. Now take the example of this one called grasshopper, right? Grasshopper belongs to a particular order which is called Orthoptera. Right? Orthoptera, right? If I divide this word Orthoptera into 2, I will say ortho, right, and tera. Ortho and tera. Ortho means straight, right? It's a Greek word. Ortho means straight, right? Straight. And tera means wing, right? Where there is a word tera, all of them include tera word, that means wing. That means this particular grasshopper belongs to a certain order called Orthoptera, which have straight wings. See, straight parallel wings. Straight parallel wings is the most characteristic feature of Orthoptera class. Now keep that in mind, right? Most of the order that I will discuss, they will have different kind of feather, right? Or adaptation of feathers. I'm saying feathers, it should be wing, right? They should have special kind of wings, right? So ortho means straight and tera means wing. So straight winged creatures will belong to the order Orthoptera, like grasshopper, like crickets, right? Which makes a noise in the night, right? That noise making ability is by moving their body parts, the grasshopper or the cricketer, right? That makes a noise in the night. It it kind of makes this noise by rubbing their body part, and that particular process is called stridulation. Stridulation, right? Stridulation. Stridulation, right? Stridulation. That sound which you often hear in night, cricketers make this sound to ask the female counterpart or to attract the female counterpart to them, right? That process of making this noise is called stridulation. So the grasshopper and the crickets mostly, they belong to Orthoptera kind of order. Now coming to this beautiful one called ladybird. You must have seen this one, right? It's a small creature mostly found in the garden. This is called ladybird. Now you will find in this one also, this belongs to the class. Ladybird belongs to the class Coleoptera, right? Coleoptera. Now again you will see Ptera word is there, so that means wing. This is also divided on this is also categorized into this order based on the presence of certain kind of wind. Ptera means wind, right? Coleus is also a Greek word. Coleus, K. Coleus, right? Coleus means shet, right? A kind of covering. Now, in these kind of insects, which belong to Coleoptera, as I told you that there are two pairs of wing in insect, right? In this kind of insect, the ladybug or beetles, if I say most of the beetles, they belong to this class. So in this, the forewing, the forewing, the one which are attached to the thorax region, right? There are forewing and there are hind wing, right? So the forewing, they develop into certain kind of sheath, right? Kind of sheath, a covering, right? And it covers the whole body by it. Sometimes it is membranous, sometimes it becomes very hard, right? It becomes very hard sometimes. So, see in this one, the forewing has covered the whole body here, right? Can you see here? Yes. The forewing has covered the whole body as a sheath. Coleus means sheath. Ptera means wing. So, sheath, the wing has converted into sheath, right? So, the hind wing has been covered by the forewing. The hind wing is always helpful in flying, right? But this forewing provides a cover, right? And this covering is called, when this kind of covering becomes very hard, it is called elytra, right? So you must have seen ladybird, or if you haven't, please see it and you will find that the covering is very hard on them. That covering is called elytra, right? This is the second kind of order that belongs to the class Insecta. Now, Coleoptera, to which the beetles or ladybugs belong, this is the biggest of the order to which insect belong. More than 3,49,000 different insects belong to Coleoptera kind of class, the order, right? Now, coming to the other one, see this one. This is called Odonata. This order is called Odonata. Right? Now see, this is suppose this is a dragonfly or a damselfly. Right? If I say dragonfly, right? Dragonfly. You must have seen this kind of structure somewhere in the garden. They are basically very friendly to human because they are predator of the pest. They can eat certain kind of other pests. So dragonfly or the damselfly, they belong to Odonata class. Now Odonata also can be, although there is no Ptera word here, no wing word is here, but there is one key word here called odon. Odon, this one, right? Odon in Latin means teeth. right? Teeth. So the basic characteristic of odonata is because of odon, teeth. The mouth part here, the mandibles. I will discuss what is mandible is when I will discuss in the future lecture the head, thorax and abdominal region on a stretch. I'll tell you what a mandible is. Mandible is the chewing part of the mouth, right? So the mandible part here has teeth, right, in odonata class, right? So because of presence of teeth and they have a slender body, see, it's a very slender and thin body and parchment-like wings, right? These are characteristic feature of odonata class, right? It's very simple. Then coming to the this one, right? This is called ephemerida, right? This is called mayfly. You say example is mayfly, right? This is mayfly. You must have seen this especially in rainy seasons. In the night, they come to the light, right? They come in huge amount. They come to the light. For some time, they come there and they die, right? This is called mayfly, right? They die because they have very short duration, right? Because of short duration, they are called ephemerida. This word means short-lived. Short-lived, right? Their lifespan is very short. That is why they are called ephemerida. And they are short-lived because their mouth, right? Their mouth are not developed. The buccal cavity or the mouth is not developed. They cannot eat anything, right? They cannot chew anything or they cannot suck anything, right? That is why they are called the ephemerida, because they live for a shorter period of time, right? Then coming to this one, right? This is a housefly, right? Housefly, right? Housefly we all know, right? And the previous lecture I told you that housefly has certain features which do not belong to overall a criteria of insect. As I told you that insects have 2 pairs of wings, that is 4 wings, but housefly or the mosquitoes and houseflies, they only have 2 pairs of, they only have 1 pair of wings, that is 1 wing, 2 wings only, right? They have 2 wings only, because other of the insects here which I have drawn, they have 2 pairs of wings, that means 4 wings, and this only has 2 wings. On the basis of this, they are said to be the order Diptera, right? Diptera or Diaptera, right? Diaptera. Di means 2, right? Ptera means wings, 2 wings. But when I say they have only 2 wings, theoretically I am not correct, because they have 4 wings, but the other 2 wings, the hind wing, right? 4 wings are this. The hind wing becomes a small structure like this. It's a kind of an adaptation in them, right? They have adopted to certain kind of lifestyle, right? That is why 4 wings are developed, but the hind wings have become very small, and these small things are called halters. Small things, if you see a particular housefly or a mosquito, you will find this is a small structure, right? The hind wing. This has been converted into halters. Because of this halter, they balance themselves while flying. The fly or the mosquito, they balance themselves. Halters help in balancing themselves, or in mosquito also they use this to make that zing noise when you sleep and they make this noise. This is also responsible for that, right? So this is also called Diptera class or Diaptera class because they have two wings, right? Coming to this one, right? This is called Mantodia. This particular insect you will see in the gardens, right? Or after rainy seasons, they come out. They are mostly green in color. They are very expert in camouflaging themselves. They adjust to the conditions. They become green, and you will not be able to see them visually, right? They belong to a particular order called the Mantodia. Mantodia word comes from this word mantis, right? Mantis. Mantis means prophet, person who prays, right? Mantodia word comes from a word called mantis. Mantis means a prophet, a person who prays, right? Prays to God. If you see the position of the hand here, this position of the hand, if you will see here, this one, right? He's kind of praying like this, right? That is why this is called praying mantis. They are also called praying mantis or prying mantis, right? Sometimes they make prey. They eat some insect also. They use prey to eat them, right? They are also called praying mantis. Prying mantis or praying mantis both will work because both the work suits them. They sit in a position of doing certain kind of worship, right? That is why they are called praying mantis, and they eat certain insects as a prey. That is also called, and that is why also they are called praying mantis, right? So both the words are common for this. Then comes this one, right? This one. This is particularly, this one, see, this is a structure of a honeybee, right? Honeybee or ants, right? There is one more order called Hymenoptera, right? See this one. Hymenoptera. See this one, right? A honeybee or an ant, right? Honeybee, say a honeybee. Honeybee or ant. They belong to this particular class called Hymenoptera. Hymen again is a Greek word. Hymen means it's a god in Greek word. It's a god of marriage, right? So this particular hymen word is included in this particular order because the hind wing and the forewing, they both are attached, right? They both are attached by a hook. Small hooks are there which attaches, right, the hind wing and the forewing together. In all the insects that belong to Hymenoptera class, the hind wing and the forewing, they both are connected by a hook, right? A small hooks are here, and those hooks are called hamuli, right? By these small hooks, the forewing and back wing both are connected to each other, and the body from here, this part is a bit constricted. A constricated body. If you will see an ant, you will find a constricated body, right? Or B, if you will find, there will be a constricated body. So the constricated body and the forewing and the back wing, the hind wing and the forewing, they are connected by small hooks called hamuli, right? That is why they are called Hymenoptera, based upon a Greek god called Hymen, the god of marriage. So hind wing and the forewing, they are married to each other by certain hooks, right? If in an easier way to understand that, right? Then, and this Hymenoptera is also one of the biggest class of insects. We will study them, right? So Hymenoptera is also there. Then coming to this one, This one, right? You can see the blue one here, right? This is also very common one, the butterfly, right? This doesn't look like, this figure doesn't look like butterfly, but overall, if you will see in a rough view, you will find that this looks similar to butterfly. So this could be a butterfly or this could be a moth, right? Butterfly or moth, right? They both look similar, but they are different, right? So butterfly or moth, they belong to this particular order. The order is called Lepidoptera, right? Lepidoptera. Now this word Lepidoptera, tera means, I told you, wing. This particular word Lepidop means scales. Scales. You must have seen a moth or a butterfly. They have four wings, right? And the back, the hind wing here, they have beautiful scales developed onto them, right? Scales are developed, right? So because of the presence of developed scales, this is called the Lepidoptera. Lepidoptera again is one of the major class of insects, right, which are being studied. So Lepidoptera is one more. Apart from that, the most common one is this one called cockroaches, right? You all know cockroaches. Cockroach also, roughly saying, a roach. Roach is also order. In a rough sense, we call them cockroach, but they belong to a certain order called Blattodea, right? Or Blattodea, right? Blattodea is word made up of this word, right? Called blatta. Blatta in Latin, it means roach, right? Roach or cockroach, right? Blatta means cockroach. So those of the insects which belongs to this, they all look very similar. They have certain characteristic feature, that is this antennae, right? A pair of antennae is there, right? Pair of antennae is there, but unlike the other insects, they are very long, right? They are very long, right? Now, pair of insects could also easily be a criteria to divide the insects. Like in Blattodea, they are a important feature on the basis of which this order has been made. The Blattodea order has been made, or Blattodea order has been made. Similarly, one more group of order of insects are there called Isoptera. Isoptera, right? Iso means equal, right? Equal wings. Iso means equal, ptera means wing. To which a very famous insect belong called termites. Termites, right? Termites, something looks like this. Something looks like this, right? Looks like this, right? Termite looks like this, but termite belongs to the called class Isoptera. Now, Isoptera has very common, lot of common features as compared to the Blattodea or Blattodea, right? So they are sometimes kept in this category, Blattodea category or Blattodea category, or sometimes they are separate. Now they are called Isoptera because the wing, the forewing and the hind wing, they are of equal size. In termites, although in termites the wing stage is not mostly present, that is only developed in the sexual stages. But if they have wing, if the Isoptera kind of insects have wing, they will be of equal length, right? They will be equal length. That is why they are called isoptera, equal wing, right? So, and apart from that, their antennae, right? A pair of antennae will be equal to the length of the almost to the length of the head, right? So the head length here, and the antennae length, you will find they will be almost of same length, right? That is why also they are called isoptera, although they are found to have very common features to the Blattodea or Blattodea family. That is why they can also be merged into it, termites, right? So isoptera is a more kind of family. Apart from that, there are bugs like bed bugs, right? Bed bugs are they belong to a class called Hemiptera, right? Hemiptera is an order to which the bugs belong, the true bug family. They are also called true bug family. All the bugs which have authentic characters, they belong to Hemiptera kind of order, the Hemiptera order of insects. Hemiptera means half. Tera means wing. Half wing. Half of the wing they have is membranous, and half of the wings are colored, right? Dark, right? That is why they are called Hemiptera, right? Hemiptera, to Hemiptera there is a very similar order also called Homoptera, right? Homoptera and Hemiptera, they basically share same kind of DNA. That is why they can also be merged. Homoptera and Hemiptera can be merged together, right? But as of now, I am telling you these two orders differently. Hemiptera means half wing, Homoptera means complete wings, right? So, but they both belong to certain kind of order, right? So basically, these are the basic insect orders information that I gave you here. There are 29 orders of insect, among which 7, 8 are very important ones, which I will discuss with you in detail. This particular lecture, I told you about certain important orders of class Insecta. One of them I told you is Coleoptera, right? Coleoptera. Then I told you about Lepidoptera. Then I told you about Hymenoptera. Then Diaptera. Right? And after Diaptera, I told you about Blattodea, then Hemiptera and Homoptera. Apart from that, I told you about Isoptera also. Out of this, most of the important ones are from Coleoptera, as I told you, right? The beetle class. Then Lepidoptera is also important. More than 1 lakh species are there of Lepidoptera also, Lepidoptera insect like butterfly and moths. Then Hymenoptera, honeybees and ants. Then Diptera, that means which have two wings, presence of two wings. Then Blattodea, that means the cockroaches, roaches, right? Then Hemiptera or Homoptera, to which the true bugs belong. So this is the basic orders of class Insecta that I have discussed. Apart from it, we will also discuss the metamorphosis of these insects, right? As I told you that metamorphosis also is a characteristic feature of insect class or arthropods. But more importantly, I want to tell you here also, to correct you also here, that not all the insects that belong to the category class Insecta, they show metamorphosis, right? Metamorphosis, I told you, there are different stages of life like egg, larva, pupa and adults, right? But this kind of metamorphosis is not always found in the class Insecta. When I was discussing about the insects, I told you that they show metamorphosis, right? So metamorphosis, as I told you, are the different stages shown by insects, right? Like egg, pupa, then larva, egg, larva, pupa and developed stages, right? These 4 stages are there. So when different stages occur in a life cycle, that is called metamorphosis, changing of the body structure, body form, right? But that is not true for all the insects that belong to this particular class. Not all the class Insecta creatures, they show metamorphosis. So based upon that, there are 2 categories. If I have to make 2 categories based upon metamorphosis, right? Those insects which will not show metamorphosis, they will be called ametapoli. They will not show any kind of metamorphosis, right? And the other one will be called metaboli, right? Metaboli, which show the metamorphosis. Now, in this one also, metaboli also, there are 2 categories. One is who show incomplete metamorphosis, and one which shows complete metamorphosis, right? So according to them, they are divided. Ametaboli, a kind of insects, they are also called Aterygota. That means they don't have wings, right? They will not have wings in their life cycle. They will be not having wings, and say if I have to write the characteristics, no metamorphosis, right? No metamorphosis, then no wings, right? This will be the characteristic feature of ametaboli or Aterygota. Metaboli or Terygota, they will have presence of wind, right? Presence of wind will be there, and the presence of wings will be there, and they will show metamorphosis. Now, in the metamorphosis phase, the incomplete metamorphosis showing insects, they only have 3 stages mostly. They have egg, then they have egg, nymph, and then These three stages they have, and because they have this nymph stage, in this nymph stage sometimes they develop the wing, right? But not inside the body, but outside the body. That is why they are also called exoterigotes, because they develop the wing outside the pupa. Normally, if you see a butterfly, you will find 4 stages. That is egg, then larvae, then pupae, and then adult. Right? This is how a complete metamorphosis works in butterflies, especially. Right? So, in the pupal stage, the wing develops from the inside of the body in the pupal stage. When the insect comes out from the pupal stage, the wings are already developed into it. Now, based upon the metamorphosis, also the insects can be divided into 2 categories. One will be ametabolic, right, and one will be metabolic, right. Ametabolic, they are also called atelgotes because they do not have wings throughout their life cycle, right. So, those insects which belong to Ateligota or ametabolic kind of insects, they do not have wings and they do not show metamorphosis, and apart from that, they show molting in adults also. Adults also show molting. Several moltings you can find in the developed adults also. Just opposite of that is the case with the metabolic section, right? They show metamorphosis, they have wings, and they do not show molting in the adults. But there are certain exceptions also, like in metabolic kind of insects or pterygotes, they show wings, but there are certain insects which do go for the molting stages in adult stage also, like mayfly. Mayfly is the example of a metabolic kind of insect which shows complete metamorphosis, but it also shows molting in the adult stages, right? This metabolic or pterygotes, right, with wings can also be divided into 2 categories. One is this one, incomplete metamorphosis, and one is complete metamorphosis. Incomplete metamorphosis means they only have egg, then nymph, then adult stage. The nymph, the smallest creature, the smallest of the insect, you will find will be very much resembling to the adult one, and they develop the wings externally, not internally. In case of complete metamorphosis. In those insects, especially butterflies, you will find there are 4 different stages. One is egg, larvae, pupae, and adult stage. In this pupal stage, the wings are developed inside the insect from the inside of the body, right? They are being developed in this covered pupae stage. But in case of incomplete metamorphosis, they are also called exoterigotes, right? Exoterigotes, because the wings are developed outside of their body. This is the basic difference between them. So nymph stage is present in exoterigotes, right? And in endoterigotes, like this one, complete metamorphosis. Those who show complete metamorphosis, they are called endoterigota, right? Endoterigotes, right? So those who show complete metamorphosis, they are also called endoterigotes because wings develop from the inside of the body in a covered pupal stage. But in case of incomplete metamorphosis or exoterigotes, the wings develop from externally in the nymphal stage. Nymphal stage is very similar to the adult. They look like very similar to the adult stage, not as in case of say a butterfly, in which pupal stage is very different from the mature stage, right? So the nymph look very much like adults in case of incomplete metamorphosis. The example of ametaboly or which the insects which do not show any kind of metamorphosis, the example is silver fish, right? So in this particular lecture, I told you about the basic orders of the most known orders of the class Insecta, and how the metamorphosis could be a criterion for dividing these orders into different categories. Hope this lecture is helpful for you. Thank you.